Okay, you know the ones I'm talking about, right? You see them everywhere. Supermarkets, home improvement stores. These gorgeous, elegant Phalaenopsis orchids. And almost every single one has this little tag hanging off it with what seems like, this amazing piece of advice. And there it is. Water with 3 ice cubes once a week. Ah, the infamous ice cube method. It sounds so perfect, doesn't it? Super simple, no mess, totally foolproof. Especially for a plant that everyone says is this high-maintenance diva. This feels like the ultimate shortcut, the perfect plant care life hack.
Buy it? Is it too good to be true? What if that convenience is actually hiding a really big problem? What if this simple trick is basically a slow-motion death sentence for your plant? Let's get into it. We're going to uncover the truth behind the ice cubes.
All right, first things first. We got to understand why this myth is so dang popular. Because it's not just some random tip someone posted online. Nope. This is some seriously powerful marketing at play. The whole appeal is just simplicity. It takes a plant that's famous for being tricky and makes it seem easy. And it takes away that biggest fear every plant owner has, overwatering, right? That's what kills most houseplants. With this, you just pop 3 ice cubes on top and you're done. But to really see why this is a huge problem, we have to get out of our kitchens and go to where these orchids actually come from. So let's talk about where these orchids actually live in the wild, because this is where the whole ice cube idea completely unravels. An orchid isn't designed for your freezer. It's designed for the top of a tree in a rainforest. Okay, so there's a word you absolutely need to know to get this: epiphyte. This is the whole key. Orchids are epiphytes. That means they don't grow in dirt. In their home in Southeast Asia, they literally hang on to the sides of trees, way up high, with their roots just dangling in the open air. And right there, that's the massive disconnect. An orchid's roots are built for a world that's warm and humid, where the rain that falls is the same temperature as the air around it. Think about it. In their entire history as a species, they have never come across ice. It's like trying to run a tropical fish in an Arctic aquarium. They're polar opposites.
So how do they get water then? Well, they have this amazing stuff on their roots called velamen. You've probably seen it. It's that kind of silvery, spongy coating on the healthy roots. It works like a high-tech sponge, designed to soak up warm rainwater in a flash as it runs down the tree. It is not designed for a slow, ice-cold drip.
So what is the ice actually doing to the plant? To really see the damage, we need to zoom in, way in. We're going from the rainforest all the way down to the cellular level, right inside those roots.
Okay, get this. This one number explains everything. You take a 32-degree, that's 0 Celsius ice cube, and put it on a root that's just hanging out at room temperature. You are hitting it with a temperature shock of almost 50 degrees Fahrenheit. For a tropical plant with absolutely no defense against the cold, that isn't a gentle drink of water. That is straight-up thermal shock.
And that shock sets off a whole chain reaction of damage. The plant's cell walls, which are supposed to be flexible, get rigid from the cold and can actually burst. This creates these little dead zones all over the root. And here's the crazy part: the plant actually gets dehydrated. Why? Because the roots can't absorb that freezing water properly, and the ice just melts in one little spot, missing most of the root system anyway. And those dead, damaged spots, they're like an open door for the #1 orchid killer: root rot.
So you're probably thinking what I'm thinking, right? If ice is so obviously, scientifically bad for these plants, why in the world is this advice on every single tag? Well, you guessed it, you just have to follow the money.
It's basically a disposable plant cycle. Here's how it works. Step 1, they sell you this gorgeous orchid with these super easy ice cube instructions. Step 2, the plant is constantly stressed out and not getting enough water, so it slowly starts to die after it's done blooming. Step 3, you, the well-meaning owner, just figure, well, I guess I have a black thumb. Step 4, you toss the old one and go buy a new one to replace it. It's a brilliant business model, really. It guarantees that you'll be back to buy another one. And this is the really clever, kind of sneaky part of it all. The ice cube method does prevent you from killing the plant quickly by overwatering it. That's true. But what it does instead is guarantee a slow, steady decline. It makes sure the plant will never thrive long-term. So what could be a plant that lives with you for years, reblooming over and over, becomes nothing more than a disposable bouquet that lasts a few months. All right, enough with the doom and gloom. Let's talk about what you should do. How do you actually keep your orchid happy, healthy, and thriving for years to come? It's time to learn the method that actually copies what happens in the rainforest.
Seriously, this is the way to do it, and it could not be easier. You just take that clear plastic pot the orchid lives in and pop it into a bowl of room temperature water. Not hot, not cold, just lukewarm. Let it sit there and soak for about, say, 10 to 15 minutes. And what's cool is you can actually see the roots drinking. They'll go from that silvery gray color to a beautiful, vibrant green. When they're green, you just lift the pot out, and that brings us to the most important step of all.
And this part is non-negotiable. You have to let it drain completely. Orchids love a good, thorough drenching, but they absolutely cannot stand to have wet feet. They hate sitting in a puddle. Just remember, those roots are meant to be clinging to a tree, in the open air, not sitting in a swamp. Honestly, letting it sit in water is the only thing that might be even worse for it than an ice cube.
And really, that's the whole story. At the end of the day, this is a tropical plant. It's a guest in our home from a completely different world, a world of warm rain and jungle canopies. And if we just respect where it comes from, that's the real secret to helping it thrive.
So now you know. The next time you see that little tag telling you to use ice cubes, you'll know the real story. And the choice is really up to you, isn't it? Are you going to put that ice back in your drink where it belongs and give your plant the warm rainforest drench it's actually craving?